And at least, you know, even if you make that same choice, make it from an educated point of view. Don't just vote that way because that's the only way you think you should vote.
Do you want to come back with it after a track and do a wrap to this show, man?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's play some Ween because I just feel like it. Okay, bye.
Cool.
Easy to laugh, those who can survive under the sun. I can't put my finger on it. Easy green, easy red, easy to laugh or easy dead. I can't put my finger on it. Scared with the nails of the days in the past. I can't put my finger on it. Easy brown, easy white, easy really out of sight. I can't put my finger on it. Call it squeal, does it squirm? If it's fresh, will it burn? I can't put my finger on it. Can it fly? Will it try? If the wings are still wet, I can't put my finger on it. Can it heal? Is it real? Can it feel the threads of time? I can't put my finger on it. Does it glow? Will it shine? Does it leave a trail of slime? I can't put my finger on it. I said, are you surprised when I touched it was inside? I said, are you surprised when I touched it was inside? Are you surprised when I touched it was inside? Are you surprised when I touched it was inside?
How is it that hundreds of millions of dollars go missing and no one's in jail?
Well, look who's in charge. I mean, these guys can't even tell the difference between right and wrong.
Okay, we've got a question.
It's like you get to Ottawa and no one can touch you. How will you change that?
You change the people in charge, but you also have to change the system. The first thing I'll do is pass the Federal Accountability Act. It's a real plan to clean up government.
Stand up for Canada.
That's pretty funny. I think Stephen Harper was thinking that he
Yes.
would never, at that point, what did he think? He'd never have a majority and that would never be held against him?
I don't think he cares that that's being held against him, man. I really don't. I don't think he gives a shit one way or the other.
If that isn't the most, I mean, you look at the way that they're treating Kevin Page now. Kevin Page, the parliamentary budget officer, which they created, which he's talking about in that ad.
Yeah.
Who's went and got a legal opinion to say that the government is withholding information from Parliament, who has said that old age security didn't need to be kicked back to 67 from 65, who has said that the F-35 purchase, that they purposefully hid the actual costs. I mean, his whole idea of accountability is in shreds. There is no accountability with Stephen Harper.
I know, it's crazy, man. That's just a crazy commercial to listen to right now. Apparently, Stephen Harper really didn't mean what he said in 2006.
I guess not. I guess not. I mean, isn't it ironic to think back and go, okay, I remember how batshit crazy I thought the Reform Party was. I remember that.
Yeah.
But you know what? If the Conservatives were to at least hold themselves to the standards that they promoted with the Reform Party, well, then MPs wouldn't be whipped into shape to vote against every amendment that the opposition parties had offered to the Bill C-38.
Yeah.
They would be, as they said, representing their constituents. They would have cared. They would have asked questions from their constituents. They, this is not what we are getting.
Stephen Harper used to campaign on the idea of a democracy deficit. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of something that comes out of the old reform platforms you're talking about. And that's kind of how the reform touched a chord with a lot of people,
Yeah, they aren't even what they claim to be.
It's just the exact opposite. It's so funny, man. It is so funny. The party and the man that campaigned on the democracy deficit just has taken a machete to democracy, man.
Yeah, I think that it's gotten so far that you don't even want to say democracy around Stephen Harper. Yeah. You're gonna get a fucking evil look, and you're gonna be shunned, and you're gonna be called a terrorist and a radical, and
he will prorogue your ass just like you.
Yeah, he just shut down Parliament, or maybe ignore a legal finding, or
he is truly governing with a gun to the head of Canada, is what I think.
Mm-hmm. And I hope that throughout the show, that's what we were able to show to prove in a way, even though we had to include some speculation because the proof is denied us. We're actually there is nobody. I mean, we're not in a place, me and you, to be able to get and dig and find the actual answers to the questions that we want.
Yeah.
We can kind of see the pattern, but no one who has that ability is out there doing it. No one is questioning the Conservatives on the resignation of the Elections Canada investigator. No one is going to stand up and say anything difficult or ask them anything difficult and let them without letting them off the hook like Peter Mansbridge does.
Yep.
So it's.
I think we got to be thankful, Mike, for the good journalists out there. I know we spent most of tonight talking about Mansbridge and how he, manipulated election results. Well, let's just admit it. He manipulated election results.
He played his part in manipulating that election for sure.
Yeah.
Whether he wants to believe it or not.
Exactly. And I think we have to be thankful that we still have access to quality information. This is the next frontier of the war, right? Which is how much information the government is going to have to divulge about the situation in Canada. Like for example, any studies that are done to support decisions that they make are now going to be not offered up in Parliament anymore.
Nope.
This is exactly what Kevin Page is fighting over. Government departments, apparently over 80 of them have been requested certain information on the budget, Bill C-38. Okay,
yep.
This is how I understand it, and over 50 of them have not complied.
Mm-hmm.
As in, wow. Our opposition MPs, in order to do their job, have to be able to have an intelligent discussion about the budget. So they have to have the same information as you guys do. That's just a rule,
Right.
That's just a rule. And you can't defend any situation that says they don't.
In a government, though, that is so adamant about its centralizing of power.
This is a huge situation. Not to interrupt you, man, but I really sorry, Mike. It's just a huge situation because what Canadian people don't really understand is at stake here is about whether our government can run the show in secret. Can we be governed in secret? Okay, this is what's at stake. I cannot say this strongly enough. I mean, people
is all of our parliamentary process going to become a show, and matter for nothing?
Yeah.
And that all the decisions are centralized within the cabinet, and
the cabinet doesn't even mean anything. It's all within the PMO. This is exactly what Stephen Harper used to accuse the Liberals of, running the entire country from the PMO. You know what I mean? And I don't and certainly that accusation rings true, and to a certain degree, but not to a fraction of which Stephen Harper is running the country from the PMO. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. The exact opposite things that he campaigned for is what he's doing. The principle of democracy and accountability and transparency that he was casting themselves as the defender of. Amazing. I've never seen such an intentional and absolute betrayal of a set of values.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's horrendous.
Then we have the CBC calming everyone down and saying, no, apparently Stephen Harper, you didn't have anything to be afraid of, because look at through 5 years of minority